Happy Monday, everybody. Lots to go through. Nick, I will correct the thing I just said. I need one
Okay.
of the tasties from Mark's office. They're on his
All right.
desk. Just pick one randomly, and that's
Anyone.
any one of them, and we'll talk about that. But
Okay.
just
Sounds
bring it
good.
back if you don't mind. You guys, jump on, communicate. Tell me how you feel. 402-464-5685. That's the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. You can follow us on the Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Got a good one for you today. Matt Abdelmasi, top of the hour. Jay Foreman, 5 o'clock. He should be feeling well enough to come join us back in studio tomorrow as we prepare for Purdue. Lots going on in the week. Monday night, 6 to 8, Nicole Griffith will take us to 8 o'clock. See who she's got with her tonight. I believe that Connor's going to be with her as well. Tomorrow night with Eric Strickland, Strict 9. There's a lot to talk about with him. As a matter of fact, he wants to get ready for Husker basketball. And a lot of the conversation will take place based on that. And then he wants to fight over the NBA 75. He also wants to talk football because there's a transition in the NFL right now. The teams that we thought were going to be really good, maybe not so great. So I want to thank the folks from Beatrice Bakery who provide goodies and sponsorship for the show. Let me see what I'm just going to describe it. I'm not going to cut into it because I want to give it to a coach later on. But this one, it's a and again, you guys can order this at beatricebakery.com. You can go through. It's not just seasonal. It's not just grandma's fruitcake. You can. I mean, I apologize to the football players last week because they had some of the chocolate run cake and they said, "Listen, you spoiled us. Like, this is crazy good." The breads that they have, the breakfast breads, are different than the cakes themselves. And then of course the various fruit cakes. And then this one is grandma's chocolate fruit cake. Chocolate, which is a tempting little thing. They will tell you to refrigerate before serving. Slice straight with the edge. Okay, so it's good. This one, man, pecans, cherries, and chocolate and fruitcake. Okay, that's going to be a party. That's going to be a party. If you're on the live video stream, once you take a peek, of things that shall be available soon. Things, let's just mark that as things that will be available soon. And take a peek at this little darling, this little humdinger. Yeah, we like that one, right? We like that one, right? 3 stripes, right? We got you in there. It's the Adidas joint. 937 the ticket with the new logo. Adidas skull cap as the weather changes. Yeah, we're working on that. How about that? I'm rather excited about that. Nick and Rico agree. It's a fair. That's something worth getting excited about. So, where to start with this day? I spent some time deep diving Peru State basketball and Purdue football. Of course, Huskers basketball, they tip off exhibition style Wednesday at PBA, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. I believe tickets are still available. In what will be a display, a display in curiosity. Being able to see some of the tandems that are put out there, some of the groups of 5 that Fred Hoiberg and company will put out on the floor. I agreed to Matt Abdelmasi that I would not ask him to give the 5s before Wednesday night. So I'll play nice. I will play nice. Husker football, it was an interesting day in going back in film and watching last year's Nebraska Purdue game, and with Adrian, this was one of those flashes, Adrian flashes, where we saw the better version of Adrian. We saw him, completing passes at a high percentage, making smart throws with it, and then seeing a healthy Adrian Martinez put his foot in the ground and score 3 touchdowns for Purdue. What also jumped out was in the very first drive that Luke Reimers on 4th and whatever blocked a punt, rolled down to the 1-yard line. Nebraska recovers it, and then Nebraska goes on to score. And this game was not really contested until late in the game. Nebraska had a nice lead. They got up and scored. I think they scored 17 points in the first quarter. And then to hear Jeff Brom in his presser today say, well, we need to get out front. We need to get out front. We need to get out front and make Nebraska throw the ball more than they want to. Which, while not surprising, I found intriguing. Right? That Jeff Brom is saying this thing that, look, purposefully, we need to get out front early so that we can disadvantage some of Nebraska's run game. We want them to throw against us. We want them to throw against us. Like, that's how I took it. Okay. But the surprise was that he said that most of Nebraska's best plays were Adrian Martinez in pass drops that didn't work, and Adrian took off. And he talked about it. He was very simple. I mean, he also said, Adrian Martinez, he's been there a long time, seems like he's big and strong. He can run around and make plays. He will hurt you running the ball. At least half of those were on pass plays. And last year, we did not do a good job on him. That's direct from Jeff Brom in his presser. He goes further. They had some problems a week ago. He goes, we got exposed. We just don't see game speed at practice. When asked about his young linemen who were forced into live game scenarios in the Big Ten, he says, yeah, they've worked hard, but they have a ways to go. He goes, we got 9 or 10 deep, but they're not ready. They're great kids. They're just not ready. They have their own issues. Chris Van Akkeren will be out again. Backup kickers will handle the place kicking. Sound familiar? He also went into it. Like, he went into great detail about his kicker. Like, this was, I felt bad. He goes, on Mitchell's place kicking struggles, he said, right now, Mitchell, the last couple of games, he's been in a little bit of a slump. Not as consistent, lost a little bit of his confidence. He's lost his mojo. He needs to find his mojo. He also said, because they had some punt return issues, and he said, we made quite a few adjustments in personnel that should help fix the special teams problems. He went in on a checklist of injured players and special teams problems and a quarterback. He's got a quarterback that doesn't want to run but needs to run in order for them to do well offensively. Again, sounds familiar. This is how simple it was. He also said about Adrian Martinez, he said, we're going to have to defend them in a different way than we have in our last 2 games versus our last 2 opponents, because Martinez's running skills and his past success against Purdue. So he knows. He mentioned injuries up and down the Purdue roster. DeMarcus Mitchell will not play in this game. He ran through several other, also mentioning Chris Van Akkeren. But putting a spotlight on the special teams, specifically in their inability to cover kicks and not having a kicker with his mojo. And all the while, I kept waiting for it to turn. Like I kept waiting for him to speak differently about his players and about what they were. He went deeper. He said, we gave up too many sacks. A couple of times we should have taken a sack. On those plays, the interceptions hurt us. He says, on defense, they did pop a few. We got out of some gaps combined with some missed tackles. We simply did not tackle well enough in open field. He talks about David Bell being doubled. Wisconsin was smart. They dropped 8 when they knew we were going to throw. And he said a way to punish pass teams that will bring an extra defender to cap your star offensive player. The best thing you can do is for that quarterback to take off. When they dropped 8, he said, that made it difficult. And he said, while running isn't Aiden O'Connell's game, he's been told every game that we need 3 or 4 runs from you on designed pass plays. Aiden O'Connell needs to run, even though it's not his thing. So what we get from that is they're a little leaky up front. They've had to go a little deeper into the depth chart than they want to, or that they were prepared to. Young players missed some blocking assignments and some audibles that were put in play against Wisconsin. Wisconsin would show a 3 front, then they'd go to a 4 front, back to a 3 front, and some of the miscommunication led to them getting pressure. When pressure was applied, Aiden O'Connell sometimes made some bad decisions. They had 5 turnovers last week against Wisconsin. And they're aware. And he said there are times when you just need to take the sack. It's not fair to the defense for you to put them in a short yardage situation or on a short field or back on the field after a long drive or in another tense situation. So they're aware. They're aware. They felt better going into Wisconsin than the results showed. They felt worse coming out of it. They are beat up. There's no other way to put that. This Purdue team is beat up. But that does I don't want to speak for you. Does that make Husker fans feel more comfortable? Are you leery, or is this a movie you've seen before? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel bad about it? Or are you simply not sure? Because Jeff Brom, if you paid attention to his presser, it would have appeared that he was saying, we're undermanned, we're outgunned, we're too young. He raved about Nebraska's defense. They're big, they're physical, they're fast. They've got the system down. They fit well. But anytime a coach that I've ever known said that, he had a plan. He had a plan. Like all that stuff looks good on the billboard. Hey, look, man, they're really fast. They're really big. They're really talented. All the while plotting and having your eyes in the right place. Notice that I'm staying away from the records on this thing. I want to focus simply on this week. I don't want to talk about Nebraska's record or what all of this means to Scott Frost and all that stuff. No. I'm not going to do that today. I want to focus on here's the opponent. Here's where they stand. Here's what brings them to the table, right? That they had some momentum, and then they lost a game against Wisconsin that they felt pretty good about until the beatdown. So I said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the jaw. Well, they got punched in the jaw, and they didn't handle it well. And Jeff Brom seemed to be resolved in that he learned more about his team last Saturday. But does that give Nebraska fans comfort? right? Does that give you comfort? And if the answer is yes, I'd love to know why. When the answer is no, I'd love to know why. What bothers you? What sticks in your craw about Saturday? This is a 2:30 game, which from a preference standpoint, I would have preferred that this one be an 11 o'clock game so you can stick to your routine at home and get your work in. Right? That I would rather that they just go to sleep, prepare, go to sleep, get up, and be prepared to stick to your routines. But that 2:30 kick, I kind of wish it wasn't. We'll go to the text line. Eric says, sounds like Minnesota from last year. Yeah, it does. It does. Brett says, do not feel good at all. Look at Minnesota last year. Like, that's a big thing. Justin says, I'm less worried about Purdue than I am getting in our own way again. Well, that's the next segment. The next segment is going to focus on the things that have to be done against this Purdue team Saturday, rather than what they've done before, rather than the things that have snake bit them or jinxed them or cursed against them or whatever those things are. There is a way for teams who are grinding to figure out how to win. It's done every Saturday. It's done every Saturday across America. There are teams that have issues who find a way to win. So I'll make you all coaches, and you can tell me what you would do, and we'll make a long checklist of you guys as coaches, what you demand this team does Saturday against Purdue. Like, demand it. And as Justin said, if I think it's fair to say that Nebraska won't lose to Purdue without Nebraska facilitating it. The only way Purdue beats Nebraska is if Nebraska helps them. And again, feel free if I'm wrong in that, tell me. But I would like to. I certainly feel that way. That a week's rest, more time in film study, more communication. It's 2 weeks to figure out how to line folks up and for them to understand audibles. If you have 10 extra days, like you have 10 days, if you have 7 extra days to learn audibles and learn formations, and 6 more days for the yips to be worked through, 6 more days of film study where you can identify, where everybody on that team can identify who they're lined up against, what their tendencies are, because the tendencies exist. They exist. You had 6 additional days, 6 more days than Purdue had. Purdue couldn't focus on you until today or yesterday. You could focus on Purdue. So everybody should have watched Wisconsin versus Purdue. I'll ask you an interesting question, fan base. Nick, I'll ask you this question. What percentage of the Husker roster do you think watched Wisconsin-Purdue? Right? Right. It should be everybody. It should be everybody. But you guys feel free to tell me whether you think everybody watched Purdue. Yeah, from the text line. Put 6 linemen in with 2 tight ends and run the back 25 plus times. Here's what I would say to that. If you said put 6 linemen in and 2 tight ends, and remember, you have 2 pretty adept route running, pass catching tight ends. So you can still throw the ball. You could still throw the ball. But Adrian Martinez would have to run some of those 25 times. Jeff Brown just told you he's scared to death of Adrian Martinez. And it's when they drop, when they spread out. It's the spread that causes them problems. That they spread out and the receivers run off 3, 4, 5 of those DBs. They run them off. They got their backs turned to Adrian Martinez. They're not looking at him. So 5 of them are out of box, and then 4 of them are engaged with linemen trying to get home. That puts Adrian in a space where he's got one guy that's scouting him and one guy that's mirroring him, stalking him, and then one guy who's kind of looking for crossers in his space. And those numbers matter for Adrian Martinez because that's where he excels. Text line says, should be confident with Purdue hurting some and Nebraska having the bye week to get healthy and to work on some things, but we have no reason to trust this team. Okay, so again, I think what would be really cool is for you guys to think about what should be. Like if the fans could just walk in to the locker room before the game and write something on the dry erase board for this team to practice with this week, or for this team to see Saturday before they take the field. I'd love to know what that would be. Eric says, don't you think Purdue will run mostly zone because of Martinez's ability to make big run plays when things break down? If they do that, it's death by a million paper cuts. And I'm okay with that. Because I think here's what would happen. And that's a great text. Here's why. They run zone, and let's not bypass the issue that we don't know who running back 1 is going to be for Nebraska this week. We don't know who running back 2 is going to be. Like we think we know, but we don't know. That being said, because you don't know who your downhill person is going to be, who would you assign? Because if you've 25 plays to Ramir Johnson is different than 25 plays to Jacques Yant, which is different than 25 plays to Savion Morrison, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if they do find themselves in a zone, right, where they feel like, because if they go zone, you can go 4-4 and create difficulty in the passing lanes. And again, only allow Adrian to make throws that Adrian doesn't want to make. But if they're willing to just drop and allow the 2 big tight ends and a possession receiver and a running back to flare out of the backfield, Nebraska will go from 20 to 20 or from 25 to 25 very easily. Very easily. Minnesota's going to let them. Like, as long as you don't score a touchdown, we don't care. Like literally, I can hear the Minnesota coaching staff going, no, we'll keep everything in front. Zone coverage, we'll cap everything with the 2 safeties, but our responsibilities are pretty simple. And then, right? So we cap everything, or we go quarters. Like we'll flip-flop between quarters responsibility, where everybody's responsible for the quarter of the field, or 2 deep, where they can put some man-type principles on certain receivers and then have 2 safeties to clean up the mess. But then the games would begin. Because at the 25-yard, from 25 to 25, Nebraska is going to move the ball because Minnesota's going to let them. And then you're in the red zone. And everybody clinches up, and the Sox get a little more yellow because Nebraska has to call scoring plays in short space, which has not been very easy for them to do. Ponder that. Ponder that for a minute. From 25 to 25, zone coverage, As long as they don't go over their heads, Minnesota doesn't care. And then the 25-yard line and inside the 20 to the red zone, it becomes difficult. Sorry. And then you hold them, and on jogs Connor Colt. That's how that looks. Just ponder that for a minute. We'll throw it to break. We'll hear from you coaches. We'll hear from you guys after the break.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. Regular season football will come to an end this week as teams make one last push for seeding. On Thursday, Lincoln High couldn't get their offense going as they fell to Bellevue West 48-6. Lincoln Southwest ended the season on a positive note, beating Omaha Central in a close game 24-20. Lincoln North Star was held to one score as they lost to Omaha North 42-7. In volleyball on Thursday, Lincoln Southwest won the Heartland Athletic Conference Championship over Pius. They came out strong and swept Pius in 3 sets. Shaylee Myers had a strong game with 17 kills for the Silverhawks. Volleyball playoffs take off on Monday, and Southwest will host the winner of Lincoln Southeast and Omaha Bryan. On Friday, the cross-country championship will take place at the Kearney Country Club for all classes. Gabe Hendricks from Elkhorn South will be the favorite runner for Class A boys as he has yet to lose a race this season. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest part getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
Welcome to today's episode of The Great Unknowns. Last time, we talked about why chickens can't just cross the road in peace. Today's topic is the great unknowns of the future. Like, am I ready for what life throws at me? Well, that answer is easy. Just call a local State Farm agent. State Farm agents will help you plan for the what-ifs in life so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh cuts and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning, otherwise partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's Fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Back to One-on-One with DP, presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to One-on-One, and it's like Santa, dessert Santa showed up here at the station and just dropped off this just box after box of just heaven. And so I didn't want to cut into the chocolate fruitcake, but they had already opened up this turtle nut cake.
I haven't had that one yet back there. It's open. It's been staring at me though.
See, that one's dangerous because like I would get coffee on a weekend and just coffee and that. Like, especially like this is like a perfect snowy day.
Mm-hmm.
But this afternoon, if I was home,
it's so gloomy outside. This is like perfect fruitcake and coffee weather.
Me and this chocolate turtle. It's a chocolate turtle nut cake, and I thought it would be too much, like too many things in it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nope.
Just fine.
No, like I try to stay away from desserts like that, but I just destroyed that slice in like three bites, and then I know it was really good because I kept like licking my fingers after I got done, and I realized I'm in the station, so I probably should. Since I wasn't sure what had happened in the station earlier today,
I wiped it down. We're good. We're good.
Like I wasn't real sure, so I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't be licking my fingers after I've touched everything in here." But yeah, that's pretty exceptional.
I'll have to go back there here in a second and cut me a slice.
Well, I know where Black Santa is going to be shopping this year. Black Santa is there's definitely like
only Beatrice.
Oh,
Bakery.
there's a bit. There's gonna be some wonderful bread, cake, and fruitcakes in people's future. That is real. Like that's its own lane, and I can't compare it to anything. So you have a bite and then
I
tell me
will.
whether we can do that. or
Yes,
not.
I will.
Like whether we can compare that. Or not. That was pretty good. And man, my coffee was just yum. The cake sounds like torture. Yeah, or heaven. It's like really. I was actually surprised, Brian. I was actually surprised by it. Like, and they've never steered me wrong in like them suggesting that I taste something. That wasn't it. I was like, okay, that was. Come on, Nick. Come on. We're gonna. I need to see what that is now. Go ahead and do that. Eric, thank you. Eric and Lincoln says I kept. He goes, hey, Pete Purdue. It is a thing that I love yelling, and it matters. Okay, so Nick's gonna take a bite. Right? Like I even when somebody tells you it's good, and you okay, yeah, that's yeah. Yep, that's the word. Moist has been the word, right? It's been chemically nice taste, man. Good stuff. Good stuff all around. The Nitro says none of this matters if the O-line keeps doing their best impression of a bullfighter. And another section says DPI kept saying Minnesota, but I mean Purdue. So it's definitely beat Purdue week. Yeah, Nitro, you're right in that for whatever scheme adjustments you can, I think. So I break things down offensively for Nebraska specifically, like line play, blocking schemes, route combinations for the receivers. Play calling is vital and important to Adrian Martinez in the running game. So it's not just what they call, it's when they call it. And sometimes the play combinations don't match up. So what you're asking the line to do matters most first, because whatever you're going to call requires that you have wins, a win or wins in the offensive front. And sometimes with that, in run sets, your wins could be with your tight ends. Your wins could be in Adrian's eyes. Your win can be in a running back stretching. Sometimes the win could be point of attack with two blockers that you've combo blocked and you figured out, how you want to get who you want to get and who do you want to have to make a play. Like in some cases, you can double on an All-American lineman because you feel like the backer in space is a better matchup for your running back or your quarterback. You can also punish All-American linebackers by putting the work behind them. A lot of top level linebackers, especially Big Ten types, don't like direct access. They don't like people running at them, especially with big tight ends. Like the days of taking on fullbacks is one thing, but taking on tight ends or taking a combo black between a tackle and a tight end, like that's a problem. Then you've got to understand in those run sets that a lot of those, if you're running outside, if you're running stretch or outside zone read, the receiver blocking is important. Trusting in your receivers to make what are often complicated blocks. It's a big difference between a receiver getting in front of a DB and shielding him. It's a whole nother for him to actually make a block and dominate that space that they share. Entirely different. And then once you win that from the center out to the receivers on either side of the ball, which is what you're looking at. You draw a line down the middle of the field. You're trying to figure out of their 11, where are they more in numbers than we are? Then you go opposite that. And then at the point of attack is that I need to double up and have a win at the point of attack. If I don't win the point of attack, then all the cute stuff that's going to happen around it doesn't really help me. I need to win the point of attack. Right? I don't want my running back smacked down at the line of scrimmage. I don't want that. In some cases, the cuteness, which is requiring Adrian Martinez to get to a mesh, which is where he and the running back meet, and he gets his eyes, whether it be on one scheme, it's to the defensive end, to another scheme, it's a backer on the edge. It could be, depending on how they line up, odd or even, it'll change his read, and then his him getting outside. But if you're not winning at center, if you're not winning at guard, if you're not winning at tackle, all the other cute stuff doesn't really matter. This team's really good when Adrian Martinez only has one man to beat. This team's really good when Adrian Martinez only has one man to beat in his reads. When he's got one key and he can actually make a decision on that one key, Adrian Martinez is pretty good. He really is. This offense is pretty good when Adrian has one key that he can focus on. Where they struggle is when one of those early reads is off time or out of place. That means a defender is not accounted for, or he is missed, or that defender has won already. Now, you can clean up that if with Adrian's athletic ability, if it's just one defender who is achieved out of place, out of line, and with a win. As long as there's not two, this offense has a chance to make plays work. Especially two to the play side where they felt like Nebraska felt like it had numbers. Like, oh, we've got 6 blockers on this side, and there's an extra. They're one defender down, and I'm not even going to read him really. I'm going to send all my donkeys at everybody else, and then Adrian one-on-one on a read with a running back that's running with him. I want to see them put tight ends behind linebackers on a regular basis. And that's just them peeling off. That's just them making contact, simply ride for a step or two to make them think it's a run, and then they slide into space behind them, make them turn their heads. The moment they turn their heads, Adrian either throws opposite where the head turn is, or he runs opposite to where the numbers are. So if I see the back of a jersey, I run away from that because he's not going to be able to turn and make a play. If I see his eyes, I'm going to look. If I see his eyes, he can't see the receiver, especially in jump. Brian says the torture in that cake is what it does to my body. Amen, brother. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Matter of fact, I was going to talk about that in the next segment. My body is having a revolution, not in a good way. Not in a good way. Nitro says this line from the text line, this line just never has shown the nasty streak you want to see in the big uglies. Well, here's what I've learned being around different schemes and systems and organizations. Linemen become big nasties when they're allowed to bully people. It's very difficult for offensive linemen to get their big nasty roll in when they have to dance with people. Pass pro and zone blocking can often end up with being more about footwork and hand play than it is about mashing people, getting your hands on folks and mashing them. When done right, you can be big and nasty with it, but when done averagely well, basically well, then it's hard for you to get enough routine enough to pound on somebody over the course of 4 quarters. Most linemen that I've worked with love the fact that, just tell me I can get my hands on somebody and put them in the turf. That's what they want to be able to do. But this is a thinking man's game. This is a thinking man's offense. They've got cute footwork. They got good. Look, man, when you found mashers back in the day, they put their foot in the ground. They one step after another, hands and feet. And they would just march you down the field until you gave up. This system doesn't do that. It doesn't even do it in short yardage. That explains the short yardage issue. Because you simply can't line up, man up, and put your hands and feet to work. My favorite phrase, Joe Gibbs' phrase was, sometimes you got to fatten your neck and move people. But today's schemes have a lot of footwork. Kick step, they got to slide, they got to get into space, tag team hands in the right place, right time. So you got to combo block and get in space. All those things are cute. But in the end, as you said, sometimes you just want to see a nasty streak from the big uglies. I do not disagree. They will be necessary on Saturday. They absolutely will. We'll close out one-on-one. I want to tell a little bit of a story from Friday night, and then we'll get a little bit more into basketball and close it out. And then I'm looking forward to 4 o'clock because, the Tasmanian Devils of Nebraska sports. Matt Abdelmassi will join us at 4 o'clock. Batten down the hatches, boys. Ladies, clutch your pearls. We'll close out one-on-one after the break.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns big or small in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
The worst of times can bring out the best in each of us. Doctors, nurses, and frontline workers have labored selflessly to keep us safe during the health crisis of our lifetime. How do we thank these heroes? It's simple. Get your COVID vaccine so we can end this pandemic. Variants are on the rise, and we don't want to put these heroes through another health crisis. They have given their all. Now it's up to you. Please do your part. For you, for them, for us.
This message sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
What are you doing, Sip? I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives. So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard.
Duh. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Ow! God! Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Don't settle for living with pain and discomfort. The therapy experts at Madonna Therapy Plus have enhanced safety protocols in place and are ready right now to help you return to health. Feeling good is vital to your overall well-being. Therapy Plus is open in Omaha and Lincoln for comprehensive physical, speech, and occupational therapy, all with enhanced in-person safety plus new telehealth options. So don't let wellness wait. Learn more and schedule an appointment at therapyplus.madonna.org.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Not all championships come with a trophy. Some help save lives. If you'd like to be on the team that kicks cancer's butt, come to Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln this fall and support their Cheers to Hope campaign. Every Cheers to Hope koozie or ACS chicken ringer you buy supports the American Cancer Society and their fight against cancer. Sounds like a win to me. You get great beer, the best chicken sandwich in the league, the chicken ringer, and you're helping fight cancer. Cheers to Hope at Buffalo Wings and Rings, the better Buffalo.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You have to turn this up, Nick.
I do need to I need to go back in there and boost this.
Yeah, because the Ultimate Warrior,
it's not very clean. When I recorded it, it sounded cleaner. So I need to make a couple changes here.
yeah, I mean, if you're going to put on face paint and aerosol spray your hair really big and then wear like tassels around your muscles and have on way too tight shorts and then run to the ring and grab the ropes and shake them as though you are a wrestling guy. The music has to be loud. Have you ever seen Ultimate Warrior running to the wrestling?
No.
You must.
So Saturday, funny story with the Upside, they had SmackDown on.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Happer were watching SmackDown with his wife from across the room.
Oh.
And it was all right.
Just
like
the
it was
play-by-play
just
would
like
have been exceptional from you guys.
yeah, it was interesting. I mean, there was this one guy, I don't even know who it was. He was just destroying everybody. And I'm
Brock
just like,
Lesnar. You don't know Brock Lesnar?
It was not him. No, I know Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
No, I know him. It was not him.
Yeah.
And he was throwing everybody around. Then like a group of 12 dudes then ran out.
That
and
was
started,
Brock Lesnar.
That was not. No
that
way.
was Brock Lesnar.
DP, don't mess with me
that
like
was
this.
Brock Lesnar.
Let's look him up.
That was Brock Lesnar. That's the new Brock Lesnar with hair that he pulls up into like a
okay,
knot over
so
his head.
it's Brock Lesnar, just a different looking Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock Lesnar.
Okay, so it's different looking.
Yeah.
All right.
Brock
So
Lesnar. They said
more or less.
I love it.
Yeah, because he had long hair.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the WWE says, "Hey, look, if we were ever being invaded, and we needed to send one human representative to fight for us all, it would be
him.
Brock Lesnar."
Yeah.
That's my favorite wrestling line recently. Like, yeah.
And so I think Happer and I both agreed though that was our first time ever watching like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
That's not
WWE. I know it's in that category of things.
It's just really weird.
I have never once.
Hey, you guys are younger.
Yeah.
So older folks, it was a part of like programming. Like when you had three main networks and then you had one other network. Each region of the country had a wrestling group that was on regular TV.
Interesting.
Every Saturday. Like it was a thing. Like that was what you would do.
Okay, so that makes a little more sense on why a lot of the older generation know a ton about wrestling.
Oh, it was a much bigger part of what we were doing.
That makes sense.
Like now there's
because like I'm used to it just being on like channel 27 or whatever it is right now.
No, it's like no. So no, and now there's so many different types, but the main ones, there's AEW, which is I believe Turner, right? Which is just amazing. Yeah, that's like a little more raw, a little they're a little more physical. Like they hit each other with stuff and throw each other.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit much.
Yeah, on Saturday, I mean, he was throwing dudes into the table and.
Oh yeah, that's Lesnar. That was Lesnar. He was fighting off the family.
So we were, our eyes were open.
But the best of Mud Dog says, "I should give you sweet chin music for not watching WWE as a kid." It says a lot. Like
what does it say that I didn't watch wrestling?
Well, because you didn't know where a lot of the cool things that were happening, cool sayings.
Probably you're right.
You didn't know where they were coming from. Like
I just participated.
Yeah, like no, I mean AEW. Adam, you're right. AEW is amazing. The Attitude Era was phenomenal because both, like everybody in wrestling, fought each other, like ruthless aggression. So you're not even familiar with the phrase.
No idea,
Nick. What I can guarantee now is that you do not have testicular fortitude.
Nope, no clue.
Sit tight. Old School's up next. Matt Abdelmassi will
You can
kick
search
open the
online
show.
for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time.